Welcome back. I hope you are doing great. As a part of this lecture, we'll understand Python operators. When you are working as a part of any of the IT project, when you are using any of the programming language like C, C++, Java, or Python, we would have operations. Operations to do multiple things. What operations would depend on the kind of project or type of project. But it is very essential to do operations as a part of any of the IT project. When we want to do operations, we need operators. That is where operators come into picture. What are operators? Operators are used to perform operations on variables and values. For example, here plus is an operator. It is doing an operation on 10 plus 5. It is directly doing an operation on value. This is value 1 and this is value 2. The way other languages have operators, Python do have operators. Operator types in Python are, we have arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, we have comparison operators, we have logical operators, we have identity operators, membership operators. Finally, we have bitwise operators. As we have indicated in the beginning of the course, we will not be dwelling deep into each and every aspect of the Python programming language as a part of this course. We'll be looking at the different aspects of the Python at a very high level. We are just introducing the Python programming language to all of you. Considering that point, we are introducing these operators to you at a very high level so that you got to know what are the different operators which are present in the Python, and we'll take a couple of examples to show how operators work. Let us get started with arithmetic operators. When I say arithmetic, we are talking about addition, we are talking about subtraction, multiplication, division, and so on. Arithmetic operators are used with the numeric values to perform mathematical operations. It doesn't make sense to work on strings by using a arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators are used with numeric values to perform common mathematical operations. If you look at the example here, plus is an operator here, and we can do operations on either variables or values itself. In this case, we are doing an operation on variables x plus 5. Depending upon the value assigned to these variables, we'll get a result. Or in the previous case, we can go ahead and say 2 plus 5 on a Python terminal. We'll get a addition of these two numbers as 7. Moving on with the assignment operators. What are assignment operators? Arithmetic operators are very simple. Even we have heard about arithmetics and we would have practiced arithmetic during our elementary school. But what are assignment operators? Assignment operators are used to assign values to variables. As we know, we have already understood what are variables. When we define the variables, we need to have value assigned to those variables to operate on or to be used as a part of the programming language. That is where assignment operators come into picture. For example, we have equals. This is one of the assignment operator. The way we use it is we are assigning 5 to x by using this assignment operator. And when we think about assignment operators, equals will be on the top of our head. But there are other assignment operators also. For example, you can see plus equal to. What it essentially means is x is equal to x plus 3. And same is the case here. We have minus equals to. What it means is when we have a variable and have 3, that means x is equal to x minus 3. If you want to take this example further, assuming that x is equal to 5, when we say x plus is equal to 3, that means x is equal to x plus 3. That means x is equal to 5 plus 3. That is x is equal to 8. That is how assignment operators work. When you're working as a part of any of the IT projects, we need to have a comparison between different values. For example, in a retail project, we may have to compare the sales of one day with another day. Like this, there'll be number of opportunities for comparison between the values, variables, and many aspects. That is where comparison operators would come into picture. Comparison operators are used to compare two values. It is as simple as that. What are the comparison operators? We have equal. Here you see equal, equal to, equal to. There are two equals. You should not get confused with the assignment operator and comparison operator. In assignment operator, one equal is assigning. Here we have two of them. That is equal. Here when you say x, y, that means to say that this variable is equal to this variable. X is equal to y. And in the similar way, we have not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to. There are some scenarios where you got to check whether a particular value is greater than or equal to another variable. In those cases, we can use greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. It is getting interesting, right? Let's move on. And we have logical operators. What are logical operators? Logical operators are used to combine the conditional statements. What does it mean? Sometimes we do have a requirement where we need to combine couple of logical statements. For example, in this case, we want to combine x is less than 5 and x is less than 10. Only when these two conditions are satisfied, that is when we want to make the whole statement as a true or the whole statement has passed. So whenever there is an opportunity, whenever there is a requirement to combine the statements, that is when use the logical operators. We have and, we have or, we have not. And means both the conditions need to be satisfied. Or means any one of these statements are true, the whole statement would be regarded as true. And not is almost opposite to this and. In this case, if you see, it will reverse the result. Returns false if the result is true. In this case, if both of them are true, then it says no, 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 it is false. Moving on with the identity operators. What are identity operators? Sometimes we have a requirement to compare the objects. When we say objects, what does it mean? When we declare a variable, what happens is, as a part of the Python programming language, there will be memory allocated to that. It happens whenever you declare the variables. Now, whenever there is a requirement to compare the objects based on the memory location, when you say comparing the objects, you are in a way comparing the memory locations. That is when we use the identity operators. Is not. These are the two identity operators which are available in Python. In case of is, it returns true if both variables are of the same object. In case of is not, it returns true if both variables are not the same object. We do have membership operators. What are membership operators? Membership operators are used to test if a sequence is presented in an object or not. What does it mean? Sometimes you do have a requirement where you have a sequence. Within that, you want to check whether a particular value is present in that or not. For example, assuming that y is some string. So you want to check whether x is present in that string or not. In that case, we can go and use the membership operators. It returns true if a sequence with a specified value is present in the object or not. Not in returns true if a sequence with the specified value is not present in the object. It is just opposite of the in. In the end, we'll understand what are bitwise operators. Bitwise operators are used to compare binary numbers. What does it mean? What happens is, all of us use decimal system, or most of us use decimal numbering system. What does it mean? Let us say 46. That means it is 4t plus 6. That means it is 6 into 1 and 4 into 10. This is what the decimal system is. But there are some instances where programmers has to get into the binary computations. Instead of looking at the decimal system, all we have to do is 0 and 1. By using the 0 and 1, we can construct the numbers. Whenever we want to drill down to the operations on binary numbers, that is when we got to use the bitwise operators. Mostly as a high level programmers, we wouldn't be doing this, but you should know there is something called bitwise operator in case you may end up working in a project which will drill down to the binary numbers. Wonderful, then we understood about the different operators available as a part of the Python.